Oh, welcome to the Wisdom Across Ages. It's interesting morning. Oh, we're finishing this week. Wow, isn't that interesting? And it's busy here in the house, but nothing out of ordinary. I mean, Josh is. I mean, I think is it a public holiday? Is he? I don't even know. I need to double check. But Josh is at home. Annie he has his music stuff. I think he has a concert coming up, which is great for her. Just to see her being a leader and leading her own life, and she just need coaching and mentoring and just see. I'm a free man, right? So in my if you know, I mean, you could go to the Wellness Artist podcast. I think I place the wellness edge. It's about carrying the big rocks first, but most of us we don't do that. Do we? I have to learn that the hard way. Thank God for the pandemic. I have to slow down. I said, oh, family matters now. Ah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next big thing, right? Okay, so don't let's get ahead of us. Let's look at what we're here today. Proverbs 8. Again, I just want to say thank you to George Tisha. I'm trying to get Josh to play the guitar for over a year. Imagine, take him to church and whatever. But the teacher did him fantastic. If now he's part of the band. So it's that interesting. We'll be talking about being human in a little while. But sort of interesting, it takes a village to raise a child. But we know our world now, including myself, we are really interesting beings, right? They're just self-absorbed. Okay, I'm work in progress myself. So always learning a lot here anyway. So let's get into it. So let's look at Proverbs. Proverbs. Sorry if you hear any kind of noise. You're not hearing voices, right? It's just maybe Josh or maybe Annie came or whatever, my wife. Okay, so let's get into it. So Proverbs 8. I'll just read from the standard English Proverbs. And I think I'll leave the Latin a little bit and the other one Shakespearean. The feedback is like, oh, it's too meaty, right? So I'll leave the professors out there or the linguists to go and check that out. So, verse 1: with great understanding, wisdom is calling out as she stands at the crossroad and on every hill. She stands by the city gate where everyone enters the city, and she shouts, I'm calling out to each one of you. Good sense and sound judgment can be yours. Listen, because what I say is worthwhile and right. I always speak the truth and refuse to tell a lie. Every word I speak is honest. No one is misleading or deceptive. If you have understanding, you will see that my words are just what you need. Let instruction and knowledge mean more to you than silver and the finest gold. Wisdom is much more than precious jewels and anything else you desire. I keep telling Annie and George, they don't believe me. They think being a billionaire is much more. Go and ask Elon Musk or Bill Gates. They will tell you that wisdom is much more than precious jewels and anything else you desire. I just want to thank my past and present mentors for really instilling this into me. Again, most of weekends on holiday, I don't spend time. I spend time with my kids, but I don't do any morning devotion. So I give them because you remember we're building them for the future. We're encourage. So during the school time, I prepare them for the adventure. But most on holidays, I mean, yeah, they're adults. Oh, they're not adults, right? According to Hebrew standard, Josh is gonna be 13 soon, and Anna's 15. I know in our world now. Is he 18? I don't want social scientists to come to my house. They don't do anything, anything out of this world. Okay, but they are growing and learning. We're loving them unconditionally, like every kid. Okay, so which of these proverbs resonate with you? Family, friends, wherever you are, North America, US, yeah, or Europe. Oh, I'm still British, right? Oh, I'm still African. My African brothers keep saying I sound more British and Canadian these days. So it's, how can you please everybody? Okay, so share with us what you're learning, the quote you're showing, or the impact you're making, just putting in the show note. So I've got this one of these quite philosophical existential. I struggle with that word. Question that somebody posted. So what does it mean to be human? So I asked my wife, and she gave me a fascinating stuff. and I'm going to share what I thought. Um, I've not checked Google. I've not used ChatGPT. I know most of my team does that, but that's okay. I just want a fresh perspective, and I'll be asking you to give your feedback as well. I use ChatGPT for emails because sometimes, like a kid, I have to bring him bring him or is him or her onto focus, right? So let's quickly do this. So my Latin teacher is listening. Corpus, corridor, mes, escolante. So I've been corresponding with some some collaborators in North America, in Canada actually, and I've been sending Latin to them, and they find it really interesting. They find it interesting. How can a black man speak Latin? We live in an exciting century. It's not where you're coming from, it's where you're going. And education is still, it's all there on the internet. You could do 10 PhDs. I'm only joking. I don't want to be section. I'm not mad, am I? Okay, how can you take care of both your body and mind this week? Think about that. Corpus, coranda, mest, and colato. So how can you take care of your body and mind this week? Sometimes about setting boundaries, looking after yourself, and it's the weekend, right? Spending time with families. That takes us to the question. So these questions are powerful questions. I think people over the ages have been trying to answer it. Again, I'm not special. I'm not a philosopher. I'm just trying to put it out there. Maybe there's some smart somebody there who can figure this out. So what does it make to be human? Let me tell you. I didn't even check Google or anything, but of course, I'm reading widely. I'm listening to mentors. So I asked my wife, and I normally joking about 2 kids. I said, "Nah, I don't want to be married because." When we had a conversation at home, this in doing business meeting. Oh, where's the money? Where's the money going to, right? So it's hard to, to be a leader when you have 3 people against you, right? Not against me, the 3 people, trying to steer the ship somewhere, and I'm saying, no, this is where we're going, right? So my wife, I asked her, I think it was doing dinner yesterday, I said, what does it make to be human? And she told me about spirituality. It never occurred to me. I was just thinking like a psychiatrist that doesn't even know what he's talking about. I was talking about emotion, feelings. That's what we talk about in psychiatry. Nothing else. Yeah, just emotion, feelings, and CBT. Interesting. So she talked about spirituality and you see. Well, I spend more time with my wife. So the concept is still in a flux. So help me, family and friends, to be much better. So I have this concept about being human means, forming relationships, having emotions, our deeds, our actions, our trust, deceptions, and all that. So it's, I'm still fleshing this out. So in terms of relationship, thinking about, again, I know some people out there, particularly the atheists, some of them are my friends. That's fine. They don't believe that. That's okay. I didn't believe it until I had to learn my lesson, right? So there's a higher power somewhere. Okay, that relationship with that. Again, then form the relationship with a spouse. It could be your other half, or whatever you call it. I mean, some people call it other stuff. That's okay by me. I'm not here to judge anyone. So your children, right? If you don't have any, I'm sure you're mentoring people. So relationship with your children, your family and friends. Now it's a global family, right? And also community. Yeah, community as well. That's interesting. And the other thing is about something jumped on me. One of my mentor, Brian, mentioned about the other day, covenant, with all these people. Imagine having covenant with a higher power, spouse, relationship with your children, your family and friends and community. And interesting. So I was looking at an adage this morning, and I was looking at the evolution. I'm not a linguist. Now it's telling me, I wish I knew this when I was in England. Maybe I'd have become a professor, at the Maudsley. So we talk about evolution of English. Even some words were more communal back in those days in sort of old and Middle English, but now that's really evolved to like being really more kind of self-absorbed and personal these days. And I find that really interesting. And we know that our languages shape our world. So when you see people being selfish, like me, it doesn't necessarily mean it's their fault. It may well just be because that's just their worldview. Okay, let's give them some grace. So think about that. And the other thing is about being human, mean having emotions, We see all this being displayed on a global stage on social media, and our deeds and distrust and facade we carry on, deception. I'm sure most of us have been wounded before, right? Due to mistrust and deception. And I guess we have to come into forgiveness and rebuilding trust. That's just I'm just fleshing that out. So I'm sure they're smart, somebody smarter than me, wiser than me, a philosopher out there who's listening. So what does it mean to be human? I think this is a question everybody's we've been trying to figure out. So share in the comment below, what does it make to be human? Okay. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Odabo. My Yoruba folks tells me I sound like maybe I went to Cambridge, or I went to Harvard, or I went to Yale or Harvard. They said, yeah, but you went to this school. I said, but I've been living in England for how many years now? I mean, living in Calgary, right? So, let me know what you guys think. Okay, if you've not subscribed, subscribe, share, and let's share this message, make our world a better place. Until then, I'm just going to say, actually I was saying Latin today, optime vale benedice. I'll see you then tomorrow. Bye.